Hello everyone, welcome to episode 53 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra and I'm coming to you from Bedfordshire in the UK on a lovely crisp and sunny autumnal morning. Very crisp this morning, 5 degrees. This looks beautiful but it's freezing. I've got my little heater on. In the craft room today to try and warm it up because it's suddenly changed. Anyway, the show notes for this podcast you will find on my blog, which is cherryheart.co.uk, and I shall link them below. They are good to check out. I have all the links for anything I talk about here. I'll have links to my project pages so you can see the yarn or patterns I've used, and I'll have some pictures. And if I talk about anything else exciting, I'll link to that there as well. So do check those out. You can find me on Instagram as Sandra Cherry HRT. You can find me on the web generally as Cherry Heart. And there's a what's it called? A Ravelry group for this podcast as well. Well, it's a Ravelry group generally. And it's called Cherry Heart's Cozy Corner, which will be linked in the show notes as well if you want to pop over and say hello there. We share our projects there and what we're up to and chat about various different things, so that's always worth a little check out. The only other thing to say is this is a crocheting, crafting, knitting, sewing type of podcast where you may see at least some of those things talked about. So thanks for joining me, basically, in summary. To recap, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for checking me out if you're new, and thank you very much for returning if you have seen some previous episodes. I really appreciate you coming back. So let's start. Where to begin? I did a podcast just 2 weeks ago and it already feels like a lifetime ago, and I don't know how to do this anymore. Ridiculousness. So the first thing I want to talk about, because it's quite exciting for me, I hope you'll like it too, is something I have been working on together with Black Sheep Wools, who you may know of. They are a lovely yarn company based here in the UK. They're up in Cheshire, so they're not that close to me, but I wish they were. It's the local yarn shop you really wish you had. It's huge and they've got so much stuff there, and there's a little tea and coffee area, so it's big enough that you need a look round and then a rest and a tea and coffee and then carry on. So you can take it all in. But yeah, the people are really lovely there. They're really helpful. They really know their stuff as well when it comes to knitting and crochet, and yeah, I make it up there occasionally, but not nearly as often as I like. As I said, if that was my local, yeah, I'd be a very happy little crafter indeed. Anyway, the point is I've been working with them for quite a few years now, actually. We've done the Spice of Life and a Spicier Life crochet alongs together. So we have come up with a Cherry Heart boutique. So it's a section of their site. So on the Black Sheep Wools site, it's blacksheepwools.com. Just wanted to check if it was .co.uk or .com, but it's .com. I'll pop it down here. Yeah, there's actually a Cherry Heart boutique that they've opened, which is selling yarn packs for my blankets. Yay! So we put together yarn packs for the Spice of Life and the Spicier Life blankets to go with the crochet along, but we've now got together a selection of yarn packs to go with some of my other blankets. So we have I'll let you have a look at the link, but my giant granny patches, which is my big blanket with lots of different coloured squares, a giant granny blanket, Granny Goes Large as I call it, which is the giant granny blanket that I made to go in my living room. I shall pop pictures in actually. What else have we got up there? The Vintage Sweethearts crochet along that was originally in a magazine, but that's now available to buy online. We've actually put together a pack for that. The original blanket was in merino soft, Soft, Shepherds Merino Soft, if that's how you say it. We haven't got that packed together yet, but we have put together a budget Starcraft version, so which is a really good colour match actually, so I'm quite pleased about that. So that version is in there. What else have we got in there? We've also got a couple of other bits as well as yarn packs, which I'm really excited about. Oh, my forget-me-not dots, that was the other thing. That was the other one that's in there. We've got that in there as well. So that's my big one that's in, there's a lot of duck egg blue and it's got the little dots of flowers. Yeah, so as well as that, there is also the Starcraft blanket that I designed, the Farmhouse Blanket. So the pattern for that is in there, not a yarn pack, just the pattern. And also my new Head Over Heels yarn. You can get that through there as well. So this was quite exciting. I talked about this on the blog as well. Yes, so Starcraft launched a range of new colours, and they're all ones that are designed by one of the blog stars. So they had a competition and we all came up with a sort of colour palette inspired by our trip to the David Hockney exhibition at Salt Mills. And yes, they had the competition and everyone voted which colourways they liked best, and the 6 top colourways. So I've just realised there's a dog bark and you may be able to hear that. I'll carry on because I think it's quietened down now. Yeah, so the top 6 colours were voted for and they have become new colourways, and this one is mine. So that's available in there as well. So that's exciting too. So I need to make something with my lovely All Stars Head Over Heels now. Not quite sure what it will be. Could go for socks. Or, because I've got more than one, do I go for something shawly? I don't know. Yes, anyway, that was my exciting news. I'm really pleased about that I have yarn packs available. I have a Cherry Heart boutique. All thanks to the lovely people at Black Sheep Wool. So huge thank you to them. And I do hope you'll pop over and have a little look and see. Yeah, exciting times. Right, so let me show you what I've been working on. What have I been working on? Let's talk about my Strictly socks first. So last time on the podcast, little sneak peek. Last time on the podcast, I was saying about Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful and her Strictly sock along that she's hosting this year. And I was talking about it because I designed a sock pattern for it, which was this one, the Cha-Cha chevron socks, and Sam had designed this gorgeous limoncello yarn in Strictly sparkly base. So thank you to everyone who bought one of the patterns and bought some of Sam's lovely yarn, and for sharing your pictures. So Strictly, the first launch show was on this Saturday just gone, so everyone's been posting their pictures and starting their socks and everything. So thank you so much for sharing what you've done so far. It's fantastic to see them being started, and yeah, it's just really nice. Yeah, I still can't quite get over that whole I write down some words and somehow you can create a sock from that type magic that there is about patterns. That still seems a little bit special to me. Yes, anyway, so because I've made quite a few pairs of these ones now, I'm actually making something a little bit different from my Strictly socks, and I've actually gone for something incredibly mindless, so that I can not have to think at all. So I am using this yarn, and this is by, I think I know, but I'm going to check. Oh, I didn't put it in there. I'm pretty sure it's Nomadic Yarns. I'm going to have to check now, aren't I? To make sure I'm not talking complete garbage. Yes, it is. So this is by Nomadic Yarns in her Spark sock. and it's called Yuletide. Because I had to go with something with a little bit of sparkle for Strictly, I thought. So that's that one. So it is actually a Christmas colourway, as you can probably tell from the name Yuletide. But I thought as Strictly takes us up to Christmas, that's actually okay. So I'm going with these stripes, and then I'm going with this for the heels and toes, I think. I did have a sort of peachy colour to match this, but I just thought the richer cherry reddy colour was better in the end. So yeah, so that's going to be my heels and toes, and this is by 5 Moons. I think it's called their Lunar sock. I shall link to the Ravelry page. I shall have it all in there. I think it's called Cherry Red, but it'll all be in there. It'll be in there if you really want to know. Yes. Anyway, so I've started it. My little socks. This is the start I made. I'm quite pleased with this, actually. I thought I did quite well for just one show. I think last time I'm not sure I even got the cuff finished in one show. But yeah, so I've got my little cuff and I've started the leg. And just lovely stripes. But that looks nice and warm and rich, and looks nice for autumn as well, doesn't it? Even though it's a Christmas colourway, it looks very autumnal as well, with those oranges and browns and sort of pumpkin-y colours. Yeah, pleased with that. And I've also got it in my gorgeous Betsy Makes Halloween bag. I know it's a little early for the Halloween things, but I couldn't resist. I got this one last year, and yeah, it's one of my favourites. I love it. I love these little happy, cute ghosts. And we've got bats and little creepy crawlies down here, and I especially really love these, the little felted ball zip pull. These are genius as well. I reckon that Sam, you should put these on all your bags. It just makes it so much easier to kind of grab and pull, and it looks so pretty. It's probably quite expensive. It's not remotely economical to do that or something. I don't know how it works out, but yeah, I think they should just be on everything. They're so cute. I have to make some and put them on my other bags, I think. So that's in there. So I'm just working on that when I'm watching my Strictly, like a good little girl, and following the rules, even though you don't have to. Unless progress flounders a bit, and then I'll have to see about some Strictly inspired cheating. Yes, but at the moment, if I carry on the way I have been, it should be fairly simple matter to just knit those during the actual shows. So I've got those on the go, and then while I was waiting for Strictly to start, I actually caved and started some other socks. So I'm going to get a sock blocker, because I started these socks last weekend actually. I was a bit of a loose end at the weekend, and I didn't know what to make, and I really wanted to make my Strictly socks actually, but I didn't want to start early. So I thought I'll just start another pair of socks. And I had a few ideas of what I wanted to do, and I was just looking through my stash and I just saw this ball of yarn. I thought, I'm just going to grab that and make socks, and that's what I'm going to do. So I did. So it was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. But I've got one made up. So I made this pretty much, well, just over 2 days. So you can see what kind of busy weekend I had. I'm just wondering how that shows up on camera. I've got a little sort of, you can see something's going on there, can't you? I've got a little garter stitch pattern on it. It's actually a little zigzag. Don't know how well that's going to show up though. Just trying different angles to see. And it's just on one side. and I just did it because it was on a whim, really, like the whole rest of the sock, like grabbing the yarn. I just thought, oh, I'll have a little bit of garter stitch detail, I'll have a little zigzaggy bit going down, why not? So yeah, I just did. So I'm going to call these The Boy Who Lived socks, because with this colourway, sort of black and grey and a bit of red and the zigzaggy, when I first did the zigzag, it just reminded me of Harry Potter's little lightning strike. So I thought, yes, they're very Harry Pottery socks. So these are my Boy Who Lived socks. Yeah. So this yarn is by Easy Knits. It's one of their Dusted Dreams colours, and this one's called Wreck. I really like Easy Knits yarn. He does lovely colours. I really love the Dusted Dreams. It's got really nice little speckly colours to it. Although actually I had a Dusted Dreams before, which was another utterly gorgeous one, but it's quite different to this, the way the speckling came out, so it's quite interesting. But this one's grey with sort of darker patches, as you can see, and I don't know if you can quite pick out the sort of little beigey bits and bluey bits in there, as well as the little red dots. Yeah, it's actually quite bluey in the fresh. I wonder how it'll look, because it's looking quite grey on my camera at the moment. But yeah, but that's really pretty. Again, nice and simple. I've made quite a long leg with these, haven't I? It's quite nice, quite warm. These could actually be boy socks. I think this would be a really nice boy sock. But I asked my boy and he's not that fussed about socks. He's quite hot-blooded, so doesn't really need too much to keep him warm. And his feet seem to stay naturally reasonably warm as well. Like mine are always freezing. I always need my socks all the time in winter, but I don't know. He's made of stronger stuff or something, I suppose. Yeah, so I did my 2x2 rib, which is my favourite. 72 stitches, decreased down to 64 for the leg. Eye of partridge, heel flap, carried the eye of partridge down under the gusset, and I just did a wedge toe. Simple, simple. And now I'm doing the second one. And I'm quite far with this one too. So that's one I did this weekend. As you see, had quite a reasonable amount of time this weekend. It was raining and we had a bit of an ill person in the house. So it lent itself to quite a bit of sitting around, but not quite as much as the weekend before apparently. Or at least I didn't knit so much anyway. Yeah, so I've got to the heel flap and I'm just working my way, done the turn, working my way down the gusset now. And I've got my little pumpkin stitch marker on there. So cute. And that's by Chapel View Crafts. I'm trying to turn his little face around so you can see his little face. There. Cute. And another stitch marker that I got from lovely Claudia of Crochet Luna. Yeah, so hopefully the ball seems to be getting quite small already though, and I've still got the whole foot to go. I mean, I don't think I'll actually run out, but normally I've got at least that much left, I would say, so I don't know if these are must be slightly less yardage to these. Although I have done quite a long leg. Yeah, so that's fun and enjoyable little just on the whim knit. I'll take that off of here actually and put it back in because I'm going to block them. Because I think when it comes off the needle, look, that's what it looks like. Yeah, there's just the garter makes it all crumple up. But I thought it looked quite funny, so I might actually block those. I don't always bother, but actually I'm kind of into it lately because they just look all nice and perfect after. Right, so I've shown you those. What else am I making? I've got one more thing that I started, but it might be a bit of a false start. See what you think. So this one is in my little basket that I got when I went to Unravel in Farnham. And this is my little start that I've made. So what this is supposed to, or maybe gonna be, is a jumper. So I don't know if you've seen, there's a few patterns around for like a granny stitch jumper. So there's the colour block jumper, which I was originally thinking I could use, by Clackeaton's possibly. I think it's a free pattern on there, so I was going to look at that. But I think it's, this is 4-ply yarn, and I think the pattern's for at least double knit yarn. And I wanted that kind of quite wide style with like the tight sleeves. And it wasn't really in that style, so I thought, okay, that pattern's not going to be any good then. But I couldn't really see a pattern quite wide in the way I wanted it to be, but that might be for a very good reason. So I thought, oh well, I'll just wing it. All it is really is a square with sleeves on. How hard can it be? I'll just go for it. So I've started, but this little tiny slither of jumper, that's like 40% of the wool already. And I wanted to put like a little, what do you call it, like a hem on. So that would be most, you know, I'll get a few more rows out and then I'll need to sort of save the rest for the sort of hem. So I was thinking that is a very small amount of fabric because I'm making it wide. I'm getting a very small amount of height. So I'm thinking, I'd see, if only I could talk coherently and tell you a story in some kind of logical sequence. I picked out 4 balls of wool for this. So I've got this one, which is Pistachio by Hedgehog Fibres, which I love and adore. Oh, I love it so much. And then I've got this one, which is, oh, what was this one called actually? I'm going to check. Oh yes, okay. So this one I got in America this year. And I'm dropping the thing. This wasn't what I thought it was. That's why I was getting confused. So this is Robin's Sparkles by Wool & Boon. And it's their Boon Classic base. So another gorgeous, gorgeous one. So that one, then that one. So then on from that, I've got this one, which is a Fine Fish Yarns. And this one is called 24-Hour Party People, I think. Pretty sure. So that comes next. I wasn't necessarily going for a gradient per se, but I haven't got 4 of anything, so I wanted them to go, so this seemed to work quite well. And then this last one is Madeline Tosh in Holy Festival. So those are my 4 that I picked out, thinking that would be plenty. But because it's quite wide at the bottom, I'm thinking of, if you know the Boxy pattern by Hokey Locatelli, which is a knitted pattern. That's the sort of shape I was thinking of. So I'll just do, I was thinking I'll do granny stitch for the body, simple, 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 and then I'll just do perhaps plain arms for a bit. But seeing as how quickly it's eating through the yarn, I'm perhaps going to need something else. So I need to think about what on earth I'm going to do about that, which is one problem. And then the other problem is I started making it, and because I didn't want it too gappy and holy, I've done it without a chain between, so it's just 3 trebles in like little shells with no chain. So it sort of tightens everything up a bit, so it's not too holy, which I quite like, so I'm quite happy with that fabric. But I'm just thinking, is it going to be sort of drapey enough to hang nicely, or is it actually just going to be quite boxy in an unattractive way? So yeah, I'll do crochet and it'll be easy and it'll be simple. But I was looking at that pattern and I think she was saying she used quite a bigger needle to make sure that she got a really nice drape. And I was thinking, well, this isn't a particularly big needle for this hook for this yarn rather. And of course, because I'm closing it up by getting rid of the hole as much as possible, just get the fabric I like. It's not actually, is the fabric going to be drapey enough? So yes, in conclusion for this one, let's summarise that rambling mess of a chatter. Do I carry on and hope to goodness I somehow find another colour that will go, and hope that 5 is enough, and hope that it turns out okay once I've actually done all the work of crocheting up almost 4 or 5 skeins, and hope upon hope that it all works out? Or do I not? I suppose the alternative is, do I actually just knit a boxy sweater or jumper, I suppose I should say, as I am a UK person. Yeah, it's a bit of a risk, isn't it, to do all of that and it might not work out. It's quite a lot of a risk, and I have been down that road before, so I don't know what to do. On the other hand, knitting a jumper, especially a big wide boxy jumper, will take me even longer. Quite considerably longer, I would imagine. Yeah, I've knit cardigans before with sort of mixed success, and I kind of sort of thought I wouldn't do any more of that. It's just so much work and so much money with the yarn, and I've made jumpers before and then ended up not wearing them particularly because I can't get a sort of a good enough. It's one of those catch-22s. I tend not to want to make them because I can't really get a good enough fit, and I haven't refined my skills enough to get a good fit on a knitted jumper. But yet at the same time, unless I knit more jumpers and cardigans, I won't improve my skills and I won't get a better fit. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. Somehow crocheting, it seems more manageable, but yeah, I have been a bit bitten. Before I tried to make a very similar sort of thing with a load of linen yarn that I got when I went to Spain, and I crocheted all that up and it looked great, Tried it on sort of before it was finished and it was all looking fab, and then sort of somehow I put the sleeves on and sort of did the neckline, and then it all kind of went to hell somewhere in that process. And now I've still got it because I thought, oh, maybe I'll wash it, maybe I'll block it, maybe it'll all come, you know, as the linen softens in washing, which it has, but it sort of pulled it the wrong way. It pulled it down rather than going wide, and it just looks horrible. It just looks horrible. It looks very frumpy and unappealing on. So yeah, probably need to fog that running. But anyway, going back to this, I don't want this to be another frumpy disaster, so I'm a bit in two minds about it. I started this like a couple of weeks ago and sort of did this little bit quite quickly, so it probably wouldn't take me that long really. It's just, I'm just slightly afraid it all might be a horrendous waste, and this yarn is so precious to me. It's like my real favourites in here. You know, the kind that are so nice you don't really want to actually use them, but I was just going through my stash like I was saying the other day, and I've got so many nice ones in there that I have to use them, otherwise it's just stupid, isn't it? I can't. Why am I buying them if I'm never going to use them? It's ridiculous. Yeah, so that's a quandary. So that's all the things I've sort of started or have got going on at the moment. And then I think the only thing I've actually finished that I can show you is this little beauty here. Let me get it. So here it is. It's a Linden Bee again. Take 2. A Linden Bee pinky version. So this came about because I've been talking to Natasha, lovely Natasha of Hillview Farm. You might know her because of her beautiful yarns, Hillview Farm yarns, stunning yarns. And she does festivals. She was at Unravel, and she also does the Creativity Festival, which she hosts and runs, where you can go and stay and do workshops and everything, and it all looks rather wonderful. Anyway, I've been chatting to her. We've got a little project on the go at the moment, and she sent me, when she sent out the yarn that I needed, she also sent this out as well. So this is on a new base that she's going to be launching soon, early October, by the 5th, I think she said. She aims to get it out, but definitely in early October anyway. And this stuff is gorgeous. So it's going to be her twinkle base. I don't know if I said that. So it's got a lovely sparkle. It's a single ply. Let's just see if I can get some of that sparkle going. Can you see? Maybe when I take photos, it will come out better. You can kind of see that there's some in there though, can't you? Isn't it gorgeous? This variegated one. It's just stolen my little heart a bit. And it looks so good in the tassels. It's so pretty. Yeah, let me tell you a bit more about it. I've got it in here. Look, here is the bit I've got left. Oh, it's so pretty. Those little flecks of colour. You've got the hot pink, you've got some blues, you've got some yellow. Oh, with that lovely sparkly. And it just goes so well with those little hot pink touches bring out, you know, so that they match this perfectly. So here's her lovely label. Her styling is beautiful. It's so classy. Looks absolutely brilliant. So it's 95% superwash merino, 5% silver stellina. It's her twinkle base. It's a 4-ply, and you get 366 meters per 100 grams. And this colour, the hot pink one, is ruby, and the variegated one is punch. Ruby and punch. Let's squidge those up in there again to keep that together. But when I saw those two, I thought, I know what that would make. It would make a really nice Linden Bee shawl. So I'm thinking this one could be called like my Tutti Frutti Linden Bee. Yes. So I really like that. Yeah, so keep an eye out basically for that on her site. I don't know if you've ever checked her site out, but it's worth a look. Her yarn on there is... She's just got such beautiful colours. They're so rich and tempting. Her photography is beautiful. Her whole aesthetic actually is very beautiful. Her stand at Unravel was just gorgeous. Just visually appealing, but like tactile as well. She sort of has like kind of these wooden shelves and these copper baskets, and it's just all... You just want to be in there and look at it and touch it, and oh, she's got such a good eye. Yes, such a good aesthetic. Yes, anyway, so pop over to the site, and I think she is talking about when she does the launch for this new base, about giving some yarn skeins away. So she has a newsletter, so I would say sign up to that newsletter so that you know when it comes out, but also so that you can enter the giveaway. So I'll pop the link to that in my show notes, so if you pop below you can go across there, and yeah, and I'll put the link in for that so that you can do that nice and easily. But yeah, I can really recommend. This was just such a joy to use. It's such a pleasure. I just whipped through it so quickly. It's all those, you know, when you stop and you're like kind of admiring the yarn as you work, you're like hooking it up, you're like, oh, so pretty as all the little flecks of colour go over the hook and it comes together. It's just, I mean, look at this section here with all those little specks through it. Oh, oh, so nice. Yes, I really enjoyed that. Can you tell? So that's that. That's all brought us into pips, hasn't it? So that's the one of my pips, is my Linden Bee. So that's getting finalised. That will be coming soon. So it's not out yet. It will be coming soon. Keep an eye on the blog, basically, because that's the first place they'll come out, because I can link to it from there. So yeah, if you want to sign up to the blog so you get the updates on that automatically, you can do that, so that you'll know as soon as it's out. And then the other thing I'm working on is my pick and mix socks, which is kind of like a vanilla sock pattern but with a twist. So I've got a couple of go-to kind of sock combinations. So there's like a certain cuffs, certain heels I'll use, and certain toes I'll use, and I quite often talk about them. I'll be like, oh, the cuffs this and the toes that. So I thought what I'll do is a pattern with those different options that I use in there. So you can use it as a vanilla sock, but you can swap out. So you might do, like, there'll be 3 heel options, so you might choose to do the first heel, or you might choose to do the third heel, but they'll all sort of complement each other, you know, you'll be able to mix and match them, basically, hence the pick and mix socks. Yeah, so you can pick out your cuff that you want out of the choice, and then you can pick out which leg pattern you want to do out of the choices, and then you can pick out your heel and pick out whichever toe. And then so you could use it in different combinations and kind of create quite a few different socks with just one pattern. That's the idea. And then also when I say, you know, I've done such and such heel, you'll be able to go, oh yeah, I know where she's got that from now. It's in that pattern. So it all ties together. So I was thinking it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, which I think it might, I don't know if they have these worldwide, if everyone knows about this, or maybe they were called something else in other countries or something. But the idea was that you had a book and you read a bit of the story, and then it would give you a choice. So, you know, maybe you're reading about Anne and she goes to school and she's got a dog, but she's found something mysterious out in the garden, and, you know, it's whatever, it's a treasure map. And then you'll get to a bit in the story and it'll say, do you want Anne to try and find the treasure? You know, go to page 22. You know, if you think Anne should stay home and get on with her homework, go to page 48 or whatever. And then you'll go to that page and you read a bit more, and it'll be like, you know, now Anne's locked in the dungeon. Should Anne look for a way out, or, you know, should Anne just go to sleep on the bed and think about it in the morning? Go to page whatever. So yeah, that's the idea. So you choose your heel, and then it will be like, right, now you can go to the leg choices, and then you'll think, oh, I'll do this leg. So you follow the pattern for that leg, and now you can go to the cuff choices. That was how I thought about it anyway. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. I hope it does. But that's what I'm working on anyway. So that's coming soon too. I'll pop a little picture in of I've done some socks based on it. So maybe I'll shove a little picture in of that. But, you know, socks, you can imagine socks, and I can tell you more about it at the time. So that's that section, and then the only other section I normally do is my incoming goodies, but I don't think I have had any goodies incoming to show you. Obviously I had quite a lot from Fibre East over summer that I showed you last time, and that's kind of been keeping me ticking over nicely. I did place a little order the other day, and that hasn't come yet. It might come today actually. So yeah, I can show you that next time. I kept thinking, well, I don't need any yarn, don't need any yarn. Just got a load of fibre-ease, don't need any. Well, that's nice though. Yes. So I caved in and I got something. But yeah, I'll show you that next time. So I think that's it for me. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the information you need. And if you've enjoyed the podcast and you would like to subscribe to see more, that would be fabulous. You can click the little subscribe button. That's the like button, that won't help. I mean, it would be nice, but the subscribe button will be more useful for you. Oh dear. Time for me to go, I think, don't you? Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I do appreciate it. I feel like you have a lot to put up with, so sorry about that. Anyway, until we speak again next time, enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves, make time for some lovely crafting, and I'll see you then. Bye! Hello everyone. No.